Morning, we are beginning from where we had left the previous day. Now, according to our previous class, we had said that inspections are carried out using precise equipments. Now, what are these equipments? These equipments are certain, say, we are testing the braking power of a particular car. Now, if we are testing the braking power of a particular car, then using such devices, we ascertain the quality of the past constructions and we judge if these objects were as per accepted norms. See the braking on the car requirements, the safety requirements say that at 100 kilometers per hour, if brakes are applied, then that car must stop within say 5 meters or 15 feet on an average. So the brakes are tested if using specific equipments. If after applying the brakes, how much does this car or the particular vehicle it travels? So you need specific equipments to test these kinds of aspects. So these specific devices are provided to the quality controller, and these devices ascertain the quality of the constructions or the objects and may judge if this objects as per accepted norms, means does it fall within that particular range of acceptance or not. We are using the X bar and the R chart, and which we will be doing sums in the next session, or probably one or two in the next other session after that, and we'll be finding out how do we fix that range. Objectives of inspections in production management. Objectives of inspections. Now, in order to detect and remove the faulty raw materials before it undergoes production. Now, objections to the quality, it involves checking before production and checking after production. Now, if we check before production, what does it mean? Means say that when the raw materials arrive, we can check. Say for the manufacture of a particular type of a bike, the tires are not made by the bike manufacturers. They can check the quality of the tires by their separate instruments. So you can check the quality of the raw materials before starting production to check whether they are of certain purity or not, whether they are of a certain say texture or not, and so on and so forth. So, for example, for the power stations, they require coal of a certain standard. So, these coals are tested as soon as they appear, as they're sent to this power station, whether they mean the required quality or not. Now, it detects the faulty products in production whenever it is detected. So, as said previously, we are detecting various products within the production process. We are detecting the various products within the production process at various times of production, and then what we are doing is then we try to detect and remove the faulty raw materials. Now, as we are doing this quality checks before starting the production, we are doing the quality checks after we end the production, and we are doing the quality checks at various stages of production. Now, this is essentially we can say the Toyota concept. Now, what do you mean by the Toyota concept? This kind of quality checks were first introduced by Toyota, the car making company of Japan. Now, objectives of inspection. What are the objectives of inspection? It brings facts to notice to enable the managers before they become serious. Now, certain things, issues should be always, it, some problems, if it is possible, it should be solved always at the lower level. It is a general tendency of people to keep things growing or keep them aside until they reach the boiling point. So, or until they reach the breaking point. So, if the managers can check the quality or the problems before they occur or at their point of occurrence, then they can save wastage, or they can save uh, and the company lots of money, and when before actually the problems become severe. For example, as we are talking about the car, the braking speed of a car, maybe the braking of the car doesn't stop within, after applying the brake at 100 kilometers per hour speed, the particular vehicle doesn't stop at within say 5 meters as is required by the safety requirements. Now, actually, if the braking materials are checked before they, as soon as they arrive, because they might not be produced by the car manufacturer themselves for quality, then the whole process can be stopped there and the products can be brought back, sent back to the producer, or they can be corrected and then fitted to that car, so that the whole process does not have to be repeated and the manufacturer does not have to incur extra costs for faulty brake parts from the for repairing from the customers. Because as we can see, many cars have had to call back the many of their cars from the production market due to faulty repair parts. Toyota has done that, Nissan has done that, Maruti has done that, and many other companies have called back their cars from the market on quality issues. Now, it prevents substandard materials from reporting the customers and it promotes the reputation. Now, if you are providing substandard materials to the customers will buy it for the first time, buy it for the second time, but they will not buy it for the third time, because say this is essentially a service or a manufacturing industry. Now, once your name becomes bad, then you require lots of effort to get it back. Because in any industry, if the brand has acquires a bad image, then you cannot regain it back. For example, you can give the very good example of Ambassador car. The quality was a very big issue, which Maruti overcame to a very big extent. Ambassador is still a very choicest car, but then the quality of Maruti cars is very better. Now, Bajaj, this for example, the quality of Bajaj scooters, Bajaj motorcycles, in compared to say Japanese companies like Honda, is not that better. So these are the things that were not say these companies were not prepared for that, and actually they are facing stiff competition, and some have gone out of the market. Inspection and quality control. This is the purpose of inspection. Now, it will distinguish good from bad lots. What do you mean by lots? Say cars or any other items, even if they are not uh, mm, produced in batches, even if they're produced in say serial production or continuous production method, they're dispatched in lots. Say in the particular load, why they are dispatched in lots? They're dispatched, say, in according to the loading and unloading capacity of the particular company. A company may produce, say, 12 tons of iron rods a day, but it can only load, say, 8 tons. It could only load 8 tons a particular day, because it had some other unloading things to do. So they will limit it as lot number, say, for that particular day. Say, as this is the 20 second of April, so they will say name it as lot 1 2 2 0 4 2 0. So this kinds of things are applied. Now, from distinguish bad pieces from good pieces means, say, if a particular lot has the total number of bad items more than the total number of good items that is required as per quality standard, then it is a bad lot, then that whole lot is rejected. If it is below that particular number of good items which is required, then minimum number of good items that is required, then the lot is accepted. To determine if the process is changing means, if by applying this process, is the whole method, is it changing or not? What do you mean by method? Means, is the quality improving in the long run? Because what is the purpose of quality control and inspection? Inspection is to improve quality control, so that these wrong methods of production or these wrong methods, they come down. Because what happens is, if you're rejecting a whole lot, then that lot has to be, might be sold as scrap, and this incurs a great loss for that company. So the whole purpose of this is to bring down the loss, and to bring down the loss, we can only mm, mm, rely on quality control, and to rely on quality control, we can only rely on good inspection. So the purpose of the inspection is to determine if the process is approaching the specification limits. Specification limits means there are different limits that are set up for specification. means is it may be pressures per square inch, or it may be the rate of the quality of that product. Say 3 star, we have ratings for the say electronic item, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. These are ratings for that item. And the accuracy of the inspectors means you have to inspect. Sometimes the inspector means you have to sometimes double check the findings of the inspectors, because at the end the inspectors, in many cases they are human, so they may also judge wrongly. So sometimes you have to judge the inspectors also. This is all for the day. We'll continue tomorrow or with the next session.